Hello friends, welcome to Smart Tutorial. Please like and subscribe my channel. Today my topic is software testing life cycle. So what is software testing life cycle? Software testing life cycle is a sequence of test activity performed to test the software quality or the product of the quality. So STLC stands for software testing life cycle. And the different phases of software testing life cycle are requirement analysis, test planning, test design, test environment setup, test execution, and test closure. So every phase of STLC has a definite entry and exit criteria. So this is the picture of STLC. Requirement analysis, test planning, test case development, test environment setup, test execution, and test cycle closure. So in first phase, which is called requirement analysis, in this phase the testing team studies and analyzes the requirement from the testing perspective. This phase helps to identify that the requirements are testable or not. In this phase, the test team communicate with various stakeholder client for understanding the software requirement. So the entry criteria of this phase is software requirement specification and business requirement specification, and their exit criteria is list of all testable requirement of the software. The next phase is test planning. In this phase, typically test manager or test lead involves for determining the efforts and cost estimates for the entire project. Testing team prepare test based on the requirement analysis. In this phase, we determine role and responsibility. So this phase entry criteria is requirements, documents, and exit criteria is test strategy, test plan, and test effort estimation and cost of the project. So the third one is test design. Tester prepare test cases, test script if automation, and test data in this phase. After test case develop, they are reviewed by peer members of team lead. Test team also prepare RTM and traces the requirement to the test cases that are needed to verify whether the requirements are fulfilled or not. So the entry criteria is requirement documents, and the exit criteria is test cases, test script if automation, test data, and RTM requirement traceability matrix. The fourth one is test environment setup. The test environment setup is based on the hardware and software requirement under which we test the product or the software. Sometimes the test team may not involve in this phase. The development team or the customer provide the test environment under which we test the software or the product. So the entry criteria of this phase is test plan, smoke test, test data, and the exit criteria is test environment. The fifth one is test execution. The test team executing the test cases in this phase. The defect report prepared or the bug report prepared in this phase and reported to the development team. So the entry criteria of this phase is test plan document, test cases, test data, and test environment. And the exit criteria of this phase is test case execution report and defect report. And the sixth phase is test closure, which is last phase, the final stage where we prepare test closure report. In this phase, we done evaluation of the test completion on the basis of test coverage and software quality. The testing team will be called out for a meeting to evaluate cycle completion criteria based on test coverage, quality, time, cost, software, business objective, and everything. So the entry criteria of this phase is test case execution report, defect report, and the bug report, and the exit criteria is test closure report. So this is called software testing life cycle. And thank you. So please subscribe and like my channel.